We're going to start on the Wildpox tutorial. I'm just going to go over the basic environment and get your script set up and write a quick game. So first of all, the game that I'm going to write, you can find it actually under our support section, support tutorials, and on the top is my first game. Let me go to it real quick, just so you guys can see where I'm coming from. It's right here, the My First Game tutorial. So if you click on this link, it'll take you to all the code that I'm going to be showing you guys. So you can keep that around for whenever you guys start. Okay, let me show you the finished product I'm going to make real quick. So basically, just going to create a quick game where you spawn objects and you fire projectiles into the scene, detecting collisions, and also write a main loop. So I'll go over basically how to capture input, how to create objects, how to work with some of the physics stuff. Okay, so getting started, everything starts once you've created an account in WildPockets, you go to the builder. The builder will open up, and this is the basic environment where you can create your levels or play with the scripting. There we go. You'll see it's just a basic empty environment with our 2 cubes in it. Over here are some tips and tricks if you want to learn some extra stuff. So basically you have tools over on the left, so you can pick cubes up, you can move them around, you can rotate them, scale them, all kinds of fun stuff to move things around your scene. Over on your right are a couple of the windows that you'll usually have open, including global properties. So over here you can change the lights in the scene, or you can change, let's say, the gravity. There's object properties, so you can change, you can see the positions being modified as I move it around. You can also make it anchored so it doesn't fall. So you can see you can turn on physics here. And stuff will move around and drop and all kinds of fun stuff. You can also change visual properties such as the textures that are on it. You can assign scripts to objects, which I'll get to in a second. So one of the big things of our engine is that we have a full library of content. So you can go under here and you can search for stuff. Nope, not basketball ball. And it'll bring in objects that you can drag straight into your scene. So you can search for all objects, textures, scripts, animations, whatever you want. So for example, you can search for textures. There's no basketball textures right there. Let's search for textures in general. And you can drag textures directly onto objects if you want to replace things. So yeah. Also, there's the File Explorer, which is basically all of the files that are under your user account. So whenever you export new art, it'll show up here. Whenever you create new script files, they'll show up there as well. There's a debug console where you can execute Lua code straight in the scene. There's function documentation, which has all of the classes that are in the engine. You can go dig down into them to get documentation on each of these classes and the functions and what they accept. And there's also the tips and tricks. So that's the basic overview of the builder. Now to get started with the main scripting stuff. Whenever you write scripts in WildPockets, you write them in a local folder and you can sync it up to the server. So we're going to start by opening the local folder. So if you go to folders, open local folder, it'll open up a brand new folder over here, which has a ton of stuff in it because I've been working on this for a while. So we're going to create a new Lua file, which is our scripting language. So you want to create a new .lua file. Be careful. I know some versions of Windows will hide the extension. So it's actually, they make it a .lua.txt and it gets confused. So make sure that it's a .lua file. You can open this up in your favorite editor. I prefer Notepad++. Let me just grab the example code real quick. Okay, so now we have a new file. We can create a new function in here, onSceneStart. OnSceneStart is basically the very first function that is called whenever the engine is finished loading the level. So I'm going to go ahead and comment in this line of code to print a hello world. There we go. Okay, So now that there's just a basic Lua function in there, the hello world, I'm going to show you how to tie it to your scene. So back in the builder, you want to go to the global properties and the script properties tab. It'll automatically come with an existing script, which you can see over here. But we want to get rid of that existing script and use a different one. So instead of this script, we're going to put in the new one that I just made. There we go. And now, one small thing too that I should go over before I actually show you this is the idea of the local folders and the server folders. So down here you had your local folder that has all of your code in it, all of your images, all of your stuff. This is all done locally, but if you ever want to put it up to our servers, you can go over to the folders and sync. So this will retrieve a list of all the stuff that is in your folder that isn't quite up to date on the server yet. So you can see here I actually have a ton of stuff. So I'm going to ignore that all for now and go find the pea shooter real quick. All right. Pea shooter example. So I'm going to go ahead and upload that to the server. There we go. So now if you go over here and you open it up, you should be able to find the pea shooter. There we go, pea shooter.lua. And you can click on it to make sure it's the right thing and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and test this. So if you go to debug, begin test, this will go ahead and open up a second window that will have your code running in it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me go ahead and save this real quick. Debug, begin test. Okay, running into a little bit of a problem here. Really? That's terrible. There we go. Okay, there we go. So you should be able to hit the begin test. You should get to this. You shouldn't have to go through the hassle that I just did. I'm running some debug copies. So if you go over to the debug console, you can see output. So for example, right here, there's an error showing in the script right now. So you can go back over here. So I'm going to fix that. There we go. Now one of the things you can do is notice that while you're editing your file locally, if you just hit save, then you can go back to the test and just refresh the page, and all of your changes should show up. There. So now that I fixed the error, it's printing out the hello world just fine. So you can use this during your workflow to just make changes to your script, hit save, and refresh the page to see it. So the first thing that I'm going to show on this